My question is to the Minister for Emergency Services. On 6 January this year, Susie's 12-year-old daughter suffered a severe seizure while at home in Tambo Upper. Susie's calls to 000 never made it through to Esther, and she was left speaking with a Telstra operator attempting to patch her call through while in crisis before finally scooping her daughter up after 15 minutes waiting and driving to the hospital herself. Susie's daughter made it and she was okay, but this was a terrifying experience for the family who had no idea the 000 system was so severely broken. Minister, what do you say to Susie to explain the totally unacceptable delay given your government knew about the broken Esther system back in 2016?
Thank you, President. At the outset, I would, of course, apologise to the family that were subjected to unacceptable delays, as you said. I agree with that. January was an extremely difficult period for Esther, indeed for all of our health services. Not only were they experiencing 4,000 calls a day, which is 1,000 more than what they were regularly used to, we had up to 20% of the staff furloughed. So we had people with COVID having to isolate from that workforce, so that made it extremely difficult for Esther to fully staff during January, and I know people were on hold, and it is unacceptable, and it's why we have responded accordingly. I do want to take issue with the last part of your question, though, which refers to issues back in 2016. It is a fact that Esther met or exceeded the target of emergency calls answered within 5 seconds every year since we have been in government until the pandemic began. No emergency response organisation has been immune to the impacts of the pandemic in the last few years. So 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, they were meeting the benchmark when they were receiving less than 3,000 calls a day. We are not meeting the benchmark at the moment. We are some days, not every day. Some hours, not every hour. It is still the benchmark to meet that every single call they receive, and that is my commitment. It is the interim CEO's commitment, and our funding will support that endeavour.
Ms Burnett-Wake on a supplementary.
Thank you, President. This is a direct quote from Susie. Every single day there is an alarming story and we shouldn't be accepting it. And now I have been a direct recipient of this crisis. We are fit and a healthy family, but always want to know that if required, the health system and services are available to us at an acceptable standard. Minister, do you accept that the Andrews Labor government has failed to provide an acceptable standard of the 000 system in Victoria?
I want every Victorian to have the confidence in calling 000 and getting it answered in a speedy time and in the appropriate dispatch happening. That is where the investments are designed to achieve, to go back to pre-pandemic levels, and we will have more staff than we had pre-pandemic to respond to the increases in calls, whether that's because of deferred care or because of people freaking out about COVID. I will continue to remind the community that to please only use 000 when it is an emergency and when you are unable to access other services that would be more appropriate. So it is a collaborative approach that we need to take to addressing this issue. But of course, I want Victorians to have confidence and to be able to rely on Esther, and that's exactly what I'm focused on delivering.